And we are live again. What is going on, crypto warriors? And welcome back to the Gentleman of Crypto. I am King, and I'm back again here with a new AMA with the co-founder and COO of OverTheReality.ai, a new AR metaverse, which is here to take over the future of cryptocurrency and the decentralized digital layer as we know it. Without further ado, please welcome to the show, Diego Di Tomaso. Did I get the last name correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, man, I see what you're saying. I am lagging a little bit. I'm not sure why. It might be the website I have brought up. Here, I'll close it and reopen it. But yeah, welcome to the show. First question I have to ask you, I ask everyone, how did you get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency?
Oh yeah, that's a kind of long time ago. So in 2014, actually, a friend of mine told me about this Bitcoin thing, and so I read the white paper, and I really got into it, like in the rabbit hole. And then basically since then, I started like a passion, and basically in 2017 also I started mining. I was mining Ethereum. And also I was doing algorithmic trading with cryptocurrencies back then. And then basically in 2018, we started building this company. So basically from 2014, I started spending more and more time on crypto. Now is my basically full-time activity.
So are you like a developer or coder by trade as well?
Not really. Actually, I have a degree in philosophy. I had an MBA. And basically the reason why I came a little bit closer to coding, because when I was doing algorithmic trading in 2017, I learned Python. And I'm not really a coder, but it's good to have an idea on how code works and having your hands dirty a little bit on that. So it helps. So yeah, I'm not a coder, but I kind of know quite a lot about that.
So are you the business end of the relationship when it comes to the co-founding? Because, I saw one of your CEO, he's a developer background as well. And then you have the MBA. So I'm assuming you handle the business side of the house, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, my co-founder is, Davide Coutinho, that basically has been building, information technology companies since 10 years. And so he's more the technological side, but there's a constant discussion on both arguments, both business and both information technology between us. So yes, but absolutely, like you said, I'm not a coder, so the more technological side is on his side. Yeah.
So tell us about OverTheReality.ai. So I probably will have to close this out because since there's so much going on with the website, it does slow down Zoom a little bit. But for those who are watching, you see the future AR metaverse is here. Their decentralized digital layer enables over users to create never before seen geo-localized experiences. And now you can actually stake a claim. So what is Over the Reality, Over your token? Can you tell us about this ecosystem here?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, Over is an augmented reality metaverse. So our vision when we started this company back in 2018 was basically to merge the physical and the virtual world with the geolocalized augmented reality. So basically, the augmented reality experiences are localized in location. So the idea is really to augment the physical world with these 3D assets. And so the way we do it is basically by combining two main technologies. One, of course, is blockchain, and the second one is this geolocalized augmented reality. So the platform at a very high level can be seen as made up of three main layers. So the base layer is an ownership layer, and it works very similar to the Centerland or Sandbox, if you are familiar with that. So basically, we have this digital layer covering the whole world. But while, for example, the Centerland or Sandbox are talking about a totally virtual world, our lands actually are mapped one-to-one to the physical world. So basically, we divided the world in hexagons of 300 square meters, and those are actual geographic locations. So for example, if you buy the hexagon representing the Colosseum, you will be able to publish augmented reality content over there. If you think about that, it's kind of similar to what happens in the web. you own a web domain, and you can publish on that web page. In our case, you own a spatial domain. So you own geographic coordinates and you can publish over there. So all of these virtual lands, OVR lands, we call those, are NFTs. Those was born on Ethereum because we launched the project in December 2020. Then basically the gas fees for minting became, unbearable. So basically we moved all the ownership layer to Polygon. So up to now, we have been selling more than 820,000 of these virtual lands to almost 29,000 owners. That might not seem a big number, but it is a big number in the metaverse, because just to give you some reference, for example, Sandbox, that is one of the biggest metaverses out there, has 20,000 owners of land. So of course, in our case, the cost of land is much more accessible, so it's kind of explainable. But for us, it's very important because this is a community of people that really believes in the project. Because if you just want to invest in the token, you buy and sell it. But if you buy a land, you really have a big stake over the platform. So that is basically the base. So the way we assign control on geographic location to people. Over this layer, we have a second layer that for us actually is the most critical, the most important, that we call it map to earn. So basically, as you might know, when you create an augmented reality experience that is geolocalized, in order to localize it, you use the GPS. So you have your phone, you see the experience with the phone, and the phone tells you where you are. But GPS has a problem because it has limited accuracy outdoor, 2 to 6 meters. That is kind of okay for some use cases. But for example, if you go indoor, the GPS will not work. So if you want to actually localize an asset inside a mall, for example, you will not be able to do it technologically right now. So in order to solve this problem, we created this system so that people with the camera of their phone, normal phone, you don't need to have a LiDAR phone or whatever, 100, 200 bucks phone is enough. You can take pictures of a location, and from these pictures, we create two things. One, we recreate a 3D map of the location that you can use to locate assets in space. And two, we train a neural network so that the next time a phone sees that location, will understand where you are with 20 centimeters accuracy. So this opened up a whole realm of opportunities that was not possible before. So to give an example, you want to put an avatar in front of a door inside a mall, you can do that. You want to augment the shop window, you can do that. You want to actually showcase how a building was 1,000 years ago, or how it will be in the next year. You can actually superimpose very precisely augmented reality over there. And also this activity on mapping locations basically will be a job in our metaverse. So that's why we call it map to earn. So since people will want to have their location mapped, they will be eager also to pay people to go around the world and map locations. And also us as company will pay people with OVR tokens to go out and map locations. So, I mean, what we say usually that we moved from play to earn to map to earn. And the people that actually will do this activity, at least at the beginning, will be the people that right now are already playing with our ecosystem. For example, right now we have a Pokemon Go style game, a treasure hunt, where you can go around the world and collect our tokens and also NFTs from other projects. And in the last year, I mean, the community went to 1.4 million locations to collect those assets. So basically, the idea is to give them another opportunity to basically earn in this metaverse. They can keep playing, of course, but they can also have this other opportunity to do something in this spatial web, let's say. And finally, regarding the third layer is basically a builder. So we said you have the ownership of the land, so you have publishing rights over there, you have the mapping of the land, but now, of course, you need to be able also to publish content over there. So in order to do that, we have two kinds of builders. We have a builder that is just a web builder. So you drag and drop 3D files or NFTs that you own, and those will be published in space. Or if you can code, we have also a more powerful tool that is a Unity SDK, so that basically not only you can publish 3D asset, but you can also code logics inside these assets. You can also basically create games inside of this metaverse, just if you can use Unity. So basically, this is it at a very, very high level, what the platform is doing. And I think I should add also that when you are in this metaverse, you are not there as a passive spectator, but you are there with your own avatar. So basically, from a selfie of your face, we recreate a 3D mesh of your head. We give you a body, and basically you will be in this metaverse with this avatar. And also you will be able to interact with our avatars. Right now, we support up to 200,000 concurrent avatars together that are in the same location, and we break them down in rooms of 50 people. And the interesting thing is that if you speak, you will see the lips moving. If you have an iPhone X onwards with a depth camera, also all your facial expressions will be mirrored to your avatar. So the experience is very compelling. And also the reason why we worked a lot on that, because also this allow us to build things like virtual events, like concerts, DJ sets, and so on, where basically the performer can actually have his own avatar. And in the case of the performer, he can also wear a motion tracking suit. So not only you will be able to see all the facial movement, but also the body language. And we believe also this is a very good way to onboard new users inside the platform. Everybody, I think, knows about what happened with Fortnite, with the concert of Travis, 28 million people attending to that. That is a huge number, even if you compare it to Woodstock.
You're talking about the Travis Scott concert that he did in Fortnite, where all the people attended Metaverse. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And the amazing thing, they had 28 million attendees. That is a huge number. If you compare it, for example, also with Coachella pre-COVID in 2017, they had 1.3 million attendees. So the ease of getting to these events in the metaverse is I mean, mind-blowing. So the potential to onboard users in this way is huge. And so that's why also we've been working a lot on building this feature. So a few things. What's going on in the chat? What's going on, Minho Donahue, 11 Super Mario? What coins will be supported in this AR verse? 11 Super Mario is wondering. So right now, I mean, the means of payment is OVR, and the OVR, you can use it, of course, to buy the lens, to participate to events, to pay for the fees that could be for getting to event in the platform. In the future, we will probably also allow other kind of tokens that basically are tokens that work on AVM compatible blockchains. So we are on Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance chain. So it could be kind of easy for us to integrate this. So at the beginning, of course, there's also a security problem because you know that when you're in blockchain, if there is a fallacy, somebody will exploit it. So we will start with our token, and then we'll open up also to other means of payment. Nice. And when it comes to your token or whatever, you know, how much attention do you all pay to the token? And what made you rebrand it? Because I saw even on the website, it said, you know, here at the top, it was saying, you know, you guys are going from OVR to over. What made the rebrand happen? And what are your thoughts on you guys' token? Yeah, so basically, I mean, we come from, I mean, we are mostly developers now. So up to now, we're not really been focusing that much on marketing, and was much more focused on the building of the platform. But lately, in the last months, we started really switching the focus also on the marketing side. And because of that, we decided to actually start our branding because we want really to actually communicate from the beginning that our company is about augmented reality. So it's over the physical. In fact, I mean, even if you go in the white paper, over the reality has always been our name from the beginning, and OVR is the name of the token that actually, of course, will not change because it is on the blockchain. But basically,
idea of referring to the company as over instead of R for us is much more clear that we are building augmented reality, because you say OVR, say, okay, so you're doing virtuality. So since it's very easy to, mix the two things, for us, it's important basically to be, to clearly go on that direction. So that's the reason why we basically change from OVR to over. So the reference to the company is over, while the token will stay OVR, of course.
Okay. And speaking of token, again, we like the degen stuff on this side of the fence every now and then. I saw you all are doing staking as well. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. So basically, actually, we have. So we are now deploying the third version of our staking smart contracts. So the one that you're showing right now, unfortunately, has been stopped. Because we already accumulated a lot of liquidity there. So now we're going to deploy a new one, but with similar logics. So this staking contract is on Ethereum, and basically it depends, depending on the time you lock up the tokens, you will compound interests with different speeds. So as you show here, we have 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months lockup. And basically, the daily return is this one. So, for example, for the 12 months, the APY, the annual APY is 32%. So it's quite a big number. And then, of course, the lower you go, lower goes the API. And right now, this is on Ethereum, and we are now deploying one version of this on Polygon, because, of course, we want to give access to staking to everybody. Even if you have a small amount, you need to be able to do that without spending too much on fees. And so right now, basically, we accumulated 5 million OVR tokens stake on Ethereum. And so we will open one now on Polygon. That should be, right now, we are under security review. So probably in the next 2 weeks, those tokens will be out. Now, those staking will be out. Yeah.
So wait, did you all launch in 2018 or in 2021?
No. So basically, we started building the company in 20.
Oh, okay. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, and the launch of the token and the land sale was in December 2020.
Nice.
So around 15 months ago. Yeah. It was before let's say, that Metaverse was cool in some way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was before it was cool. You're right. What are some of the challenges you've seen in building your platform, your project, and then some of the challenges you've seen in the industry and the Metaverse all in all?
Well, so of course, the beginnings was very hard because, right now, we have traction, we have users and so on. So we are kind of reputable, let's say, in the blockchain space. But at the beginning, when you launch, by default, you are a scam. So it's very easy to overcome the first month, especially. So at the beginning, was very difficult to send out the message. And also, of course, because as I mentioned, Metaverse was not cool back then. So yes, you're building some crazy stuff in augmented reality, but people don't really get it so easily. So the first, I would say, 2 months was very hard because we launched the token. We didn't have so much interest and liquidity and so on. And then it was amazing because in February 2021, something happened. Basically, a YouTuber from Spain, actually from an island in Spain, made a video about us just by, we didn't talk with him, he just did it of 30 minutes. And then from them, the Spanish community started exploding. So we made a huge amount of users in a very small amount of time, and then it started growing from there. We had another episode like this, for example, in December 2021, so a few months ago. For example, we exploded in Turkey. There was another YouTuber made a video on us, and then we went on television and we made 300,000 new users from Turkey only in 3 months. Oh, so wow. Yeah, it's so that right now things are going very good also because of course we are in this metaverse trend, but I would say that the beginnings was hard. It was very hard. I would not want to come back there. So yeah, absolutely. And now, the challenge that we face in some way is the popularization of this augmented reality metaverse. Because if you think about the most successful metaverses out there, of course, there is the Centraland that has been the first one. And basically also we have been inspired by it, because when we built this augmented reality metaverse, the idea at the beginning was really inspiration from the Centraland. So building the augmented reality version of the Centraland. And the second one, more famous, of course, is Sandbox. And if you think about that, those are virtual reality metaverses. So they have really nothing to do with augmented reality. So it's not so easy, to pass the message about the potential of augmented reality, because not everybody is really familiar also with the distinction between AR and VR. So that is the challenge, but I think that time will help us with it. And of course, we try to communicate it clearly. But yes, also, as soon as hardware devices that allow to have augmented reality experience will be spreading in the market, also things will change very fast. No, that's already probably more than 1 year that we hear that Apple is going to go out with some augmented reality glasses and so on. So as soon as there is a product out there that makes you really understand what is the potential of augmented reality, we believe that things will accelerate a lot on the adoption side.
And that's always the thing in this space, is the educational component piece that people need to get up to speed. You just mentioned glasses. So you all will have hardware. That was kind of my question. How do you enter your metaverse, your AR metaverse? Is everything done through your phone, or will you have glasses? How does this work?
Yeah, so right now everything is through mobile phone. So we both support iOS and Android, and we support a very wide range of hardware. So just to give an idea, in terms, for example, of iPhone, we support from iPhone 6s onwards. So it's some hardware that is more than 6 years ago now. So you can really everybody can enter in this metaverse very, very easily. And also this is, I would say, an advantage if compared to the big incumbents in this metaverse, where you usually use the desktop to get in. So right now we support the mobile side, but I would say that we are hardware agnostic. So whether it's the hardware that is best to have an augmented reality experience, we will be there. So for example, right now we have some proof of concepts also running on Magic Leap. That is an amazing hardware. I don't know if you ever tried it. It's this amazing hardware for augmented reality. But the problem, of course, is that nobody has this hardware. So, since it's cool to showcase it, but our real focus is adoption. So we are on the hardware that is owned by people. And so that's why right now we are on mobile phones. And right now we have 350,000 downloads of the app. And of course, we would like to get to 1 million in the next 6 months, and that's totally achievable. But of course, this is possible because we are on mobile phones. If this was, something that runs only, for example, on VR goggles or headsets, it would be much, much more difficult to get numbers because there are not so many up there.
Right, everybody wouldn't have them. And I was looking here, even with the motion tracking suits here, is that something you all will be doing, or is that just something like if somebody can incorporate if they want? How does that work?
Yeah, basically right now, only we can do that. And so basically we can have somebody coming in our offices and wear the motion tracking suit and stream with it. But basically in this quarter, actually, so will be probably at the end of the month, of the next month, we will come out with a desktop console, so a software that you can install in your computer, in your desktop, and you will be able by yourself to plug also a motion tracking suit. Right now we support the Rococo motion tracking suits. We can add more, and in the next quarter we will also implement the opportunity to track your body movement through mobile phone. So you will not need to have the motion tracking suit. Of course, the result will be not as good as with the motion tracking suit, but this open up the opportunity to everybody that basically have, in this case, an iOS phone with the frontal camera.
Nice, nice. I want to go to some of the chat again, speak to some of the folks. What is going on? Marcelo said, good morning, everyone. I have to go to work, but I will catch recording. Love this content. Diego is super knowledgeable, and we need to take over the metaverse. There we go. 11 Super Mario said, so no mocap session. So I guess that just answered as far as the motion capture you have to do in their office right now. Let's see. J.E. Walter was going on. So you got your son was on Fortnite doing the Travis Scott concert. That's pretty cool to see. Okay, that's a good question. Nakamura, do you have any idea of integrating with other metaverses?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that is a very good point that is raising it. I forgot about it. So thanks for raising it. So basically, we have a thesis, and the thesis is that the way that Web3 metaverses will win against Web2 metaverses is because of interoperability. And that's through the NFT standard, basically. I mean, the good thing about the NFT standard that usually the assets behind an NFT are open. So, I mean, are openly accessible. So this means that basically these assets can live cross metaverse. And so already since long time, we basically support any kind of NFT. So if you have an NFT, a 2D, 3D file, animated GIF or whatever, you can actually use it and upload inside OVR and showcase it in OVR in augmented reality. But actually 3 weeks ago, we went a step further. So we actually integrated with Sandbox assets. So, you know, you have all these amazing characters from Sandbox that you can control on Sandbox. Basically, if you own one of these assets in your wallet, you can actually control those in augmented reality over Metaverse. So you can actually play with those, not only in Sandbox, but you can use those on OVR. So that's, we believe that this is the power of Web3. So the fact that you build a content on a platform, and this content actually is not locked inside that platform. Before we was talking about Fortnite, you have a nice skin in Fortnite, that nice skin stays in Fortnite. While, I mean, in Web3, you can really move around the assets. So we are very, very committed to this vision. And we also have, I would say, a structural advantage on this side, because, you know, again, coming back to the big ones, so the Central and Sandbox, they have a specific graphical mode. The Central is low poly, Sandbox is voxelated, and so on. In our case, we strive to photorealism. But of course, we can take, I mean, lower polygon count versions on our platform very easily, and that's why it was possible for us to build this. And then another very nice thing about this ecosystem that I love is that actually, when we did this integration with Sandbox, we didn't ask to Sandbox to do that. We just took the asset that was open and we did it. Then actually, I met Sebastian, the CEO of Sandbox, at an exposition in Lisbon, and I showcased him the thing. And he was actually super happy about that. You know, you don't do this in Web 2.0. I mean, if I took some asset from Fortnite and another Web 2.0 platform, they would maybe sue me.
Right.
No, why in this case, he was super happy. And actually, we also did a small, let's say, contest. And basically, Sebastian came out and say, okay, who shot the best video with a Sandbox asset on over, I will award him 1,000 cents. And then he did it. You know? So really, this is something that for us is super important. So building so that both our assets and also assets from other metaverses can actually move between metaverses. And also another thing in terms of collaboration that we are doing very successfully is collaborating with NFT projects. So I was mentioning you about this treasure hunt that we have. So we made a version of this treasure hunt that can be used also by other projects. The first example that we did was with Doge Pound. I don't know if you know the project, but basically they minted the 10,000 very nice dog NFTs. And the value actually was very high back then because it was 3 ETH, each one of these JPEGs. And actually, basically we made a treasure hunt. So we distributed around the world asset representing their project. And the guy that could collect more would get an actual NFT. And so that was a big success. In 15 days, we sent people to 75,000 locations. And so basically we are replicating this every week. So every week or every 2 weeks, if you go in our app, you will see another treasure hunt that you can participate to actually get the NFTs from the project. So really, for us, collaboration, we are all in with that.
I see I like the NFT one. Now, someone asked something similar. Thanks to Nappy Ways. I'm not familiar if you know about the Fold app, but he said he can search for sats using Fold. So what sets you all apart, I guess, when it comes to your AR game when you're searching for Satoshis out there?
Yes, I think that is a kind of similar concept. So, I mean, for us, this treasure hunt, of course, is a feature that is built on the platform that I was describing at the beginning. So, is a use case on this metaverse.
Oh, so it's just a part of the entire platform, not a platform itself.
Yes, exactly. So it's a part of the platform, yet a very powerful use case, because again, we have really a lot of people playing with this. We have 100,000 active monthly active users with the app, and I would say that 60% of those are playing with this game. So absolutely, this is. This is a good idea, but also, you know why? Because sometimes also, I speak about my project every day, and when I say to somebody, I'm building an augmented reality metaverse, say, augmented what? And I say, okay, you remember the game Pokemon Go? And
right, yeah, I saw people in the chat talking about Pokemon Go.
Yeah, everybody knows that. So it's a low friction path to explain to somebody what we are doing and what is augmented reality. So, it's just a game, but it's very powerful because it onboards people very, very easily. That's the power of this game.
So tell me, how does it work? I'm looking at the map. How does it work as far as becoming a landowner in this land? How does this work since it's augmented reality technically and not an actual metaverse virtual reality? So how does it work as far as owning land, auctioning land? Of course, everyone always talking about land when it comes to metaverse. So how does yours work for the common man out there?
Yeah, of course. So basically, again, I come back to the example that I did at the beginning. So just think about the web. In the web, you have these web domains, and basically you have coca-cola.com, and you publish over there. In this metaverse that also we call a spatial web, you don't publish on web pages, you publish into reality. So basically, we need a way to say who controls what part of the physical world. So that's why these lands exist. So let's say that you buy an hexagon on the Colosseum. If you buy this hexagon in the Colosseum, you can publish an augmented reality content over there. Maybe you put a gladiator there, or you put a tourist guide that will bring you around and can tell you about the story of the Colosseum. And in that case, of course, you own this NFT, and this NFT is like owning the web domain. So it gives you the rights to publish on our virtual layer over the physical world, let's say. And the way it works to buy it, you just take one of the lands that is around the world, you click on that, and you can initiate an auction. So the way it works, the auction starts, and there is 24 hours. If nobody bids over you on those 24 hours, the land is yours, and the base price is $10. If somebody else bids, you need to bid the double. So the price will go 10, 20, 40, 80, and so on. Having said that, the world is so big that the probability that somebody will start an auction exactly where you want is quite low. So the average price right now, the lands are sold in the primary market is $13.5. So it's very accessible, and we want it to be like that because everybody needs to be able to start experimenting this. So you want to buy your backyard and you want to publish some content over there, you don't have to spend $100 to do that. Just $10, and you're good to publish content.
Now, do they have to pay gas fees as well? Because this is on Ethereum, right?
Not anymore. So we was on Ethereum, but so right now the way it works is like that. So our token was born on Ethereum. So right now is on Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance Chain. So for paying for the primary market, depending on where you have all your tokens, you can execute the payment for any of these chains. So of course, if you do it from Ethereum, you have to pay the gas fees. But if you do it from Polygon, for example, the gas fees are totally negligible. It's $0.01 to execute the transaction. The minting of the land will actually happen by default on Polygon. So again, the gas for that is very, very cheap. And basically also we will pay the gas for you on that. So yes, coming back to your question, the gas problem, it's only on Ethereum for the moment. And so it depends on where you bought your tokens. Having said that, most of the liquidity is still on Ethereum. Because yes, that's the problem with the gas, but many people have their assets on Ethereum and don't like to move around that much. So it really depends. But we see that, for example, we have, I think that we have more than 20,000 addresses owning our token on Ethereum, 30,000 on Binance Chain. And on Polygon, we moved 1 month ago, and right now are growing, but are still limited. There is like less than 1,000 if compared to the others. So even if there is this gas fee problem, people still take their liquidity on Binance and Ethereum rather than Polygon for the moment.
Right, no, for sure. It's just people are used to it. And yeah, I'm seeing a few people say NFTs aren't my thing, but free is. So they like the search for NFT ideal. I mean, that's boom. That's how you have it right there. We get a new project with a new utility or use case or a fun GameFi part of it. And I mean, it could literally take off like that. Again, we're talking about over here, over the reality.ai with this technology will unleash the potential of map to earn. Again, I do like this. I like how you're actively putting people to work in your metaverse, your AR metaverse, where they're actually mapping to earn, searching for NFTs or sats, or whether they're buying and selling land spaces. It does offer a lot of different things to do. I guess my last question would be, is it too vast? Since you're technically mapping the entire planet, is it too vast? Is it one of those things where is just so much to chew? Or do you all think under a network, even one that you're trying to make as decentralized as possible, you can actually make that happen? What are your thoughts on that?
You mean about the mapping part or about
the mapping part for sure?
Yeah. No, that is a very good point. So of course, nobody can map the whole world. I mean, not even Google probably. So the point, but the interesting thing here is that the places that will be mapped will be the interesting places in the world that are much more or less. So
like Times Square, like the LA area. Okay, exactly. I got you.
If you go in the map, for example, you go in New York, you will see that all New York is bought. You go, I mean, in areas that are not so famous, nobody bought there. So actually, the way it will work is that basically we harness this wisdom of the crowds on what are the good locations in the world. Because basically people, these 29,000 people that bought the lands, basically they voted with their tokens on what are the good lands because they paid for those. Right. So basically the goal is really to map those locations that have been bought. And of course, that will be the only ones that will be mapped. And because we will incentivize it, and also because somebody owns it and probably have an interest to do that. And also this mapping job is a quite fast thing. So to map a location, one of our hexagons of 300 square meters, it takes between 5 and 10 minutes. So, I mean, you can map several of those in a short amount of time. And then the interesting thing is that when you map the location, you actually generate an asset that is yours. So you do that, the map is yours. And so you own this NFT and you can actually sell this NFT to us or take it for yourself, sell it later. You can actually, I mean, because, you know, in our vision, these NFTs, these assets will be very valuable because this is like oil. You know, this is data that everybody that will ever want build an augmented reality metaverse will need. Because there is no way to locate assets in space precisely without mapping the location. So this NFT will represent the map and all the pictures that you generated over there. So basically, this data will be usable from the day zero in our platform, but we also believe that this data, this raw data, can be valuable also for others. So the people can actually take this picture and collect it just because they believed it, that they can basically also sell it later on to other platforms and so on.
So for just to kind of break it down really quick, so we can wrap as well, essentially with your metaverse, your AR metaverse, not only can you own some of that land that you can map it yourself, you can own it, sell it as an NFT, but the power of that is that people can build their they can build augmented things, and that'll be the land you own. So it's like they might have to pay you a fee for building or renting or doing some part on your space. And let's move this in the future, a couple of years, let's say we're in New York City. This is a Times Square. Everybody knows about this place. Somebody owns it as an NFT in your metaverse, but I want to build a lemonade stand here for augmented reality. Like I would have to go through that landowner. I'm assuming like this is the way you envision this.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, and it's nice that you mentioned. I mean, something that is also not necessarily marketing. Maybe I mean you're building something that people enjoy to do. They want to do an experience, or maybe like for another example. I don't know if you're familiar with POAPs. Proof of attendance. Now we integrated this virtual kiosk. So if you own a land, you can put a virtual kiosk over there that testifies that you was there at an event, for example.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Right. Vote by showing up.
Yeah. And so basically, in order to do that, you need to own the location. If you don't own it, you can rent it out from the owner. So in the next month, we're going to publish also the renting smart contracts. And it will be very easy to rent. We'll be able to rent by default. So, I mean, we have all these people that bought the lands, and maybe not all of them will be pay attention all the day to the land. So it will be possible to rent it by default. So basically, nobody else bids. Somebody bids, it gets rented without your intervention. So the real goal is to make this building bedrock as accessible as it's possible. So anybody need to be able to build. But of course, if you're owner of that because you believe it on it early, you bought the location, you need to get some gain from that. And yeah.
And last but not least, this is a pretty good one. Yeah, Kenneth, I looked at my email now. I didn't get a notification either. I'm not sure what's going on with the YouTube notifications. We got to figure that out for sure. Local TX, great question. Thank you. We'll end it on that. Is there a risk for parallel meta universes by other companies? So possible competition. Is there a risk to you all for that?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, everybody can build the same. And we have other companies that are building the same. We have, for example, Arcona or Superworld. And yeah, maybe there is also another one. But yes, basically, I mean, at the moment, we are the big guys. Let's say that.
I would say, yeah, Superworld isn't that. Yeah, they're still super beta. So.
Yeah. I mean, in our case, I mean, we have orders of magnitude bigger than all the other ones. But of course, it's not that we can sleep on that. But the point at the end of the day is about you execute things. So everybody can break down the word and sell it and say they're going to do something. But in time, the only one that will survive are the ones that are building some utility and some community over that. So, I mean, our goal is really to keep building utility. And right now, of course, we are also the bigger because is the augmented reality metaverse that have more tools that allow you to build more things. And so if we keep pushing on that direction, it will be very difficult to reach us. But, it's true that, I mean, there is not really super big barriers to entry over there. I believe that the biggest barrier is this mapping layer that I was mentioning, because no one of our competitors has this technology. We had to build it by ourselves. Microsoft has this technology, Niantic has this technology, but they're in Web 2. So we are the only company that have this technology in Web 3. And if we execute fast enough and create a critical mass of maps, it will be very difficult to replicate the technology and the community and the effort to create this map.
Well, if you create it fast enough as well, I mean, if you create it fast enough and the capital comes along with it, then the regulators will come and then they'll help you eliminate competition. So you'll be fine. That's America. I mean, that's just what we do. It's like, all right, we got the unicorn company in. It's time to cut that out. We don't need no more of these. We just one is a no. But hey, we wish you well. We'll definitely be following the project here whenever we have guests on to talk about their projects, or we do video reviews. We try to follow those projects as much as possible to track them and their project founders to see where they land. So we'll definitely be following. If you're listening now, of course, check out their website if you're interested, overthereality.ai, where you can go and sign up. Of course, for the AR metaverse, you can download the app, or if you want, you can exchange, buy and sell lands, get inside the tokens. There's a lot of different things to do in the space, as you can see. Go treasure hunting for NFTs as well. A lot of different things to do. So check out their website, overthereality.ai, as again. And again, I want to thank Diego for coming on the show. I'll leave you with the last comment, thoughts, word, messaging. What do you have for us, Diego?
Oh, well, I mean, I think that what you said, so trying the app, testing it out, I mean, is the best way to onboarding and try to understand what we're doing. I mean, just check out what we are building both on the website and also on our social media channels. So Twitter is amazing to stay up to date with what we're doing, but also we have Telegram. I mean, and Discord, if you want to ask some questions, we have moderators all day long. So, I mean, please test it out and play with the app. And I mean, and that's what we are building it for.
There it is. And as far as the social media links, folks, those will be in the video description as soon as we end this video. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share, and we will see you all next here at 10 a.m. PST with some more crypto news, that one about a different ecosystem. Cheers.